Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is your host Jennifer Lynn Warren. We are recording this on Monday, May 11th, 2020. So we are still amidst the lockdown, kind of slowly opening back up here during COVID-19. And so while you guys are at home and you're wondering what to do, some of you are doing Self-Tape May with Audrey Helps Actors. I am doing that as well. It's been awesome. Some of you are doing projects with friends. Some of you are creating your own stuff, and some of you are winning at procrastinating. And that is okay too, because in this time of high stress and your cortisol is in overdrive, you need to do what you need to do to take care of yourself first and foremost. So if you feel like you're not getting anything done, there's no judgment here. I have moments, luckily it didn't outlast all day for me, but I will go like an hour or two where I feel like I am just frozen with just being overwhelmed with everything that's happening in the world and I just can't do anything. And then I will go into overdrive where I feel like I can't get enough done in like almost like this panic. But I wanted to talk to you first about today is branding yourself while you're doing this. And I am a little worried that sometimes you will do something only because you think it's going to hit your branding, and then you won't do something because you're like, oh, that's not on brand for me. I'm a horror actor. Why would I start a happy news blog with like happy news of the day? And I think you need to let that go. And I think you need to go with the flow, and whatever the universe is saying to you in this moment is your thing to be doing. I say, just do it. Because the purpose of branding is to help a few things, right? It's to really help upgrade your mindset. It's to not just throw stuff on your social media, but to really give you a purpose to your posts and to guide people's perception of you. And it is manipulative, but it's not in an evil way. It's just simply, it's marketing, right? Marketing is manipulation by its very definition. And it's there to help define your expertise. So it's there to help show people like what you're really, really good at. Now, this could be dancing, this could be martial arts. Like, just because you are an actor doesn't mean you can't take your special skill set and put it all over your social media so people know what else that you're good at. And if you're great at period pieces and doing Shakespeare, why not spend this time putting it out there and just be everywhere? And I mean, just be everywhere. Like, you should be engaging in a lot of casting director talks on time. At this time, you should be tagging people in posts, because right now it is not anywhere near as annoying to be doing this as it will be when the casting directors, and producers are back at work. Because right now it's just simply a tag on a post, and who cares if it's going to get their attention or not. Whereas like when somebody's busy, it can become an annoyance. And now's the time to share knowledge. It's the time to engage with others. So when you're thinking about creating content and putting yourself out there, don't get so locked into your branding that it keeps you from making connections. But you can also use your branding to help you come up with ideas to expand. And what does this have to do with how I started the podcast? What it is sometimes you are going to be going crazy, and sometimes you are going to be wanting to put out content like a machine, and sometimes you're going to want to just sit down and do nothing because you're so overwhelmed. And I want you to think about when you're making content in the same way. Sometimes you're going to want to be doing stuff that's on brand for you, and sometimes you're not. And I think now is the moment to play around and be okay with putting stuff out there that may not be your target. Because I know we talk about that on this podcast a lot, is your branding and being specific and making it easy for casting. But you know what? It's okay if you guys want to play. It's okay if you're doing Self-Tape May and you want to do characters that are not in your wheelhouse, because I'm doing it. And I'm not going to let it stop me, because a casting director might go like, oh, I don't believe she's believable as like the head of a hospital. all I care about is making great acting choices in that moment, right? So I think what I really want to say, guys, is go easy on yourselves right now. So actors hear a lot about this whole thing about you have to have discipline. And so I decided to look up the definition. And there's two definitions. One is the definition that I think cripples us as artists. And the definition is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct a disobedience. And I think that's what a lot of us think of when someone's like, oh, you need to be disciplined as an actor. And it's like we go back to elementary school, depending on how young you are, they still whipped us in school with a paddle if we were bad, of like, oh gosh, if I don't do this thing, then I'm going to be sent to the principal's office and then I'm going to be beaten. And that's really not going to be very motivating to do your acting work. So there is a second definition of discipline that I think works for us so much better. And it is a branch of knowledge, typically one studied in higher education. So I'd like to have a little paradigm shift here so that when a coach or a teacher is telling you that, well, I think you need more discipline as an actor, don't think of, oh, that discipline means like every day I have to memorize one new monologue, or I have to go on Actors Access once an hour, or whatever BS is going through your head. Instead, have the discipline of knowing that you are expanding a branch of knowledge, that you are treating your education almost like a higher education level master class as an actor. Like think of, life as a master class, and your discipline is the study of human behavior. So being disciplined as an actor doesn't mean that you're doing some paperwork or something boring or something that doesn't make you feel alive every day. It means that in everything that you are doing, you're paying attention to the human spirit and humanity and what it means to be alive, to breathe, to feel, to think, what it means to exist, because it's that existence of others that we bring into our work and we make breathe and we make come to life. So anytime somebody uses that word discipline, because I think it turns us off, I want you to change your mind about what the negative connotation of that and just say, yeah, actually, I am disciplined. Me watching this Netflix series that I feel like I'm right for is being disciplined as an actor. And some people are going to disagree with that. But how does it serve you? How does it serve you to feel bad about binging a TV show when it could serve you? It could serve you if you're like, in this moment, I am supporting fellow artists. I am studying my craft, because you can watch Netflix and you can just blindly watch it with like a blank mind, like most people do, because they use it for escapism. Or you can go on and you can really look at how these actors are performing. Look at how the shots are set up. Look at how the lighting is, the wardrobe choices, because that will help you in your auditions. How are the costume departments dressing characters for this show, so I know how to dress when I go in for that audition. So give yourselves a break. Change your definition of discipline. Be disciplined as an actor, but disciplined in your study of acting, not in these little gold checkmark things you feel you have to do every day. In our final little segment today, I wanted to bring up that in order to keep the space station crew sane, we give them art, movies, guitars, music. We give them art. And in this time of COVID-19, when so many people are in isolation, you don't know what your art could be meaning to somebody else. you doing a monologue, you doing a funny little skit, you reading a poem. Maybe it doesn't reach millions of people like it would an A-lister, but how much could it mean to your mother, your brother, your kids, your friends, to see you thriving in isolation, to share a part of your heart with them? So consider that all of humanity is in isolation right now, and you are a professional artist, and you have almost a duty to share your heart with your friends and your family in this moment. So if you have something you want to perform, you have a piece of art you want to put out there, I would say that now is the best time than ever to put it out there. Not because it's going to get you some big role in a movie, not because it's going to get you fame or fortune, but because the people you care about the most right now, maybe they need it. And so with that, guys, I am going to wrap up the show. Thank you so much for tuning in with me every week. I don't always stick to a schedule when I put out my podcast. I tend to do it when I feel like it. And this happens to be Monday. So whatever, I feel like doing one on a Monday. If you are finding this enjoyable, if you find that these are very helpful for you, please feel free to leave me a virtual tip at jenniferlynnwarren@gmail.com. You can also, through PayPal that is, you can also please rate and review the podcast. It helps other people find me and know that I am here. And also, if you have a question or you have a project that you want to promote, you can email me at hollywoodactorsguide@gmail.com, and I will be very much more responsive on there. And let me know what you're thinking, dreaming, and hoping for. And I will see you guys next week. Break a leg out there, and remember, you are not alone.